Welcome.
Bienvenidos, bienvenidas.
Willkommen.
Ahla wa sahla to breakfast together.
So, welcome.
Hello. Günaydın.
Welcome to another episode of our interview series.
Thank you for having me.
As you can hear, we have another guest here. Today we're talking with a German-born multilingual content creator, language teacher, and also storyteller living in beautiful Andalusia in Spain. So welcome, Noel.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me.
It's our pleasure to have you here.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having the time. We know you most, Noel, as you know, as where we met, from all those polyglot events, from all those conferences, and I mostly imagine you with a microphone, of course, because that's where I see you most, holding the microphone and creating tons of content in different languages. But there is so much more to your interesting person, and hopefully we can uncover who you are and what you do behind your profession. So can you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Yes. Okay, it's actually funny that you think just this girl with a microphone, because my friends would not recognize me with a microphone in my hand. But yeah, that's what I do for a living. I chase people to do interviews. About languages, you guys mainly. But then, I mean, outside of that, it is related to how you guys know me. Like, I love traveling, I love learning about cultures, maybe not always with a camera in my hand. I actually, in my private life, I don't use a lot of social media. I don't take too many pictures, etc. But it has to do with that for sure. So I would definitely describe myself as like a curious person who loves to and get to know new things, especially other countries, languages, etc. But then I'm also really into sports and just being outside in the nature.
Nice.
We're definitely going to talk more about this for sure.
So we are in a podcast that we're talking about languages. So I think one of the questions I'd like to know, and I have the language that you speak. As far as I know, you are proficient in German, your native language, English, Spanish, pretty good level. I also know that you speak pretty well French and Portuguese. So I don't know if I missed anything. You also Italian, if I'm not wrong. And I've read that you're also learning like another language. So it was my first time seeing that. And I was like, what is this
There was
language
some
about?
Dutch there too.
That was a Dutch as well, yes.
Good job.
Yes.
Yeah,
So,
I know some Dutch. I have some knowledge in Dutch, but I had it like a year in university, and as a German native speaker, I guess it's like pretty easy to at least get like to the basic level. Italian I would take out of the list. I tried, I couldn't connect with it,
okay.
and I ditched it. So
But you also like learn like another language that's I forget the name, but it's the one spoken in the
Fawn? Benin?
yeah.
good job. Yeah, well, I wouldn't say I speak it. I traveled to Benin, is it like 2 years ago or 3 years ago? And I tried to learn a little bit one of the local languages, which is Fon. And when I went there, I actually knew a few phrases and I could have like a really small conversation, but I would say I almost forgot everything. But my best friend, she's from there, so she taught me a little bit.
Oh,
Wow.
that's a good connection for sure.
Normally, like for popular languages, like in this case, Spanish, French, German, Portuguese, you have resources, you have like YouTube videos. How do you learn phone? How have you? I mean, you have your best friend there, of course, but where is like where do you find like resources? Where do you find the content? Where do you find books? Even I don't know if it's like so common. I'm interested like
It's
into this language that there's not a lot of a lot of data.
Yeah, that's a real struggle, I would say. I mean, there's some YouTube, not a lot. I found a book which was German to Fon, which is crazy to me that well, my grandma actually found
Wow.
it at the bookstore. Yeah. And then, so there is an app, it's called Afrilang or something like that, and they have a lot of local African languages. But you have to know French to learn from there because it's L1 French and then like the local languages. But yeah, there's not a lot
Right.
of resources, which also is like why I love making content with small languages, not just Italian, Spanish, the typical ones. I love to like use that platform
Right.
also to show smaller languages, right? And give them that platform.
Which I respect because I didn't
Yeah.
expect that you would like to show like Greek, which is not a small language, but it's not like as big as the rest. So really appreciate that.
Vice versa.
Mm, you know, I was always wondering because I think I listened to one of your Spotify. There was this Spotify podcast on Spotify actually, where you were talking about how in the past it wasn't really like you were into languages straight away, and I think reviving back a little bit and seeing where this love for languages started would be interesting because in that interview you were saying that you were actually into maths when you were at school. So how usually people cannot comprehend, okay, if you're into languages you got born with it, that's it, and if you're into maths you're into maths, that's it, sort of thing. Obviously this is sort of a stereotype, but how was it with you?
That is true. You really digged into my past. Good job on
we did
that.
we did a good work. Good.
Yeah,
Spot
yeah.
on.
But yeah, I was really good at maths and also physics, I would say, so all of those things. But first of all, I want to say it is somehow related, I think, because I still, when learning languages, I love grammar. I love having like almost a formula to languages. So I'm really structural when I learn
Yeah.
languages, I guess. I guess also the German language is made for that. So maybe my mind is already made like to think that
Yes.
way. But then, so when I was 16, no, 15, I went for this like high school year abroad where you live with a host family. And I went to the US, and that's, I think, where it started because I mean, I spoke English before school English, but then I noticed how many doors it can open to you as in not getting to know people and like a new culture and really getting to know that culture and on a deeper level.
Okay, so that's pretty early as well, and it's also nice that you're talking about this connection between using a certain formula because after I start coming to all these conferences and meeting more people that are into languages, I noticed that there are so many different types of polyglots, and so many people that are actually cracking. They love cracking that code of the language, the grammar and all, and this is how they learn as well. So it's super nice to see.
Right, and you mentioned grammar, which I think mostly in our cycles you will see like people not focusing into grammar. There's like this big group of comprehensive input, just like listen to input, and then start like talking. I would say that the grammar is not like so common, at least in the polyglot circle. So, do you have like you give us like an idea of how do you crack the language? How do you start? How do you like? Do you start like using like reading into grammar directly, or you start with phrases, or use like any like application like for learning vocabulary? How do you normally go?
I would say it's a mix of everything you mentioned. I definitely start also with like just basic sentences because I think it just gives you like a good feeling right away because you can right away like ask
Yeah.
what someone's name is or whatever. But then once I advance a little bit, I even at like still A1, like higher A1. I kind of do it backwards though, I would say. So I get some input, I watch videos or whatever input you can get, but then I want to have the explanation why it is how it is. So then I actually have like grammar books of any language here, and then I look up the grammar, like why is it? I don't just want to use it, I want to know why I'm using it that way. So
Okay.
maybe
Is
yeah,
it
first the input and then the explanation to it. I do need it, yeah.
So you mentioned you use like grammar books. I would say that the last since like let's say 1 year or 2 years that this is the hype of the AI and like no ChatGPT. I use a lot of for explanation and it works pretty well for me. Do you use the books for reading or for studying grammar? Do you prefer the let's say
Dimi's
old
trying
way?
to steal all the ways, all the
Yeah, right. I'm,
methods,
I'm
Yeah.
taking I'm
clearly.
taking notes.
Yeah, I mean the listeners can't see it, but I have this big book here, for example, and I love it. I love
Wow.
my
Okay.
my conjugations. I love my grammar explanations. So I do that. But obviously nowadays you have so many ways to get input. Like I do use language apps. I use flashcards, but like virtual flashcards. Anything I can get. I mean that's the beauty of the age now, like the new age of
Right.
technology, that you can get so much input. You don't have to just choose one, I guess.
Nice. Cool. Cool.
And going a little bit into more into languages, but changing slightly the angle, do you believe like this whole spectrum of languages that you speak, they somewhat shaped you differently? Because as you know, there's obviously this, you may have heard about this type of concept about that every single language at the certain level creates your alter ego, like some kind of a different personality. And then in this language, you're that person, in that language, you're that person. I mean, I know for myself that that happens, but I'm curious, how is it with you? Have you built any Jennies and Marias and all that thing?
Yeah, 100%. I think you connected with the culture, but then also maybe with the moments of your life when you like got fluent in it or proficient. So I'm definitely more open in Spanish. I'm also funnier, I would say. Because I mean, I started learning Spanish when I was 19. I moved to Spain. I got this input of the culture, and I was still becoming an adult, I would say. So that really shaped also like who I am now as an adult. And then, I mean, German, I'm more serious. It's more of like, yeah, it's the language I was born in, but it's not where I became me. So
No.
Mhm.
it almost feels strange sometimes to use it and like an environment that's more friendly.
No.
And then English for me is more of a professional language. Like I use English when I
Yeah.
travel, obviously also to other, but my day-to-day English is work, so I connected with that
Right.
for sure.
So do you find yourself speaking German like in your daily life? I'm asking you this because I don't know, like since I moved I've been living abroad the last five, no, actually more, 7 8 years. And I would say, I mean, I speak with my family, of course, with my friends, but I don't have so many chances to. And we have also Telemachos that he lives in Berlin, so I'm happy that another friend and some other power friends that I have in Berlin, but I don't have a lot of chances. I speak more Spanish or English, as you said, because of my work, than like Greek. So, are you able like to, especially in Spain, do you have the chance to speak your own language?
Not really, to be
Do you
honest.
need it? That should be the question.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need it for anything, and I don't have anyone in Spain anymore to speak it with. I used to have like a German friend, but she moved back. Um, so the only time I use it is either I make a video in German, but then it's like really basic German, or I
Yeah.
talk on the phone to my family. So I don't use it on a day-to-day basis, no.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Just because I think a lot of people have the same issue.
Mm,
Connecting this to where you currently live. You live in Spain, in Andalusia, as we mentioned. And so, how was the transition? You said that you moved there 19, when you were 19. So, how was the
mhm.
transition from, I guess, from Germany to Spain, not from the US? How was the transition? Do you have like any cultural shock, anything that was like big deep, like, they were surprised, they're like, whoa, how this how is like life here?
I mean, it's a turnaround 100% compared to Germany. Um, Life is definitely more tranquilo here. So, like,
Yeah.
you don't take yourself too serious. You don't take, I mean, we do take work serious, but not in a way that's like we don't live just to work. Um,
Yeah.
we work to live, right? So we do our work, we do our 8 hours, but then you still enjoy the day, and it's not all about just like your work life. And yeah, people, I mean, they are, it's, I think it's always related to the weather, right? They are more open because they are more outside and things like that. So definitely big culture shocks on that way, but all in a positive way, I would say. Then there's some other things, obviously. I mean, they're not as punctual, and maybe things take a little bit longer. There's always a downside to it, but
Yeah.
overall, definitely more positive things for sure.
Do you feel that you're adjusted like more into the culture of Spain than the German? I mean, you have been away for a long time, so I would guess so, as I did as well here. But do you like have you ever thought like about going back to Germany, or like is this like thought of like nah, I will never go back?
No, I will never go back. I'm sorry. um,
Okay, okay.
to my family if they hear it, but they know. No, I whenever I go, I'm really happy to be there, and I get this feeling of, oh, I miss it here. Also, my family, being closer to my family, but then I'm also happy to leave whenever I leave. I just feel more comfortable here, and as I said, I moved here so young that my adulthood was here, so I feel just like this is my home now. So.
That's a very nice home. I visit Andalusia. I remember it's a beautiful region.
Mhm.
But yeah, do you? I know that you do you teach the language, because I know that you used to teach languages, if I'm not mistaken. But is it
Mhm.
now that you are combining the content creation with teaching, or like is it content creation mainly? That's what you focus on as a job.
Right now, it's content creation. It has shifted over the years. Whatever like is coming new in at my company and stuff. But before I was doing content creation, I actually worked at the university here in Sevilla, and I was teaching German linguistics and German culture. So there, I was really focused on teaching. Then COVID happened, everything. I started the other job at Babel at the company, and I always did a mix there of teaching German as a foreign language and then content creation. Right now, it's much more content creation, but in the end, it's also like a symbiosis, right? Because I do a lot of teaching videos, or even if I do the from the learner's path, I still do my put my teaching knowledge into it. So I don't teach directly right now, like face to face to anyone, but in an indirect, let's say, modern way over videos, I guess.
By the way, as a Greek, I cannot skip that. I like that you use the word symbiosis, which comes from symbiosis from Greek. Just wanted to mention that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, just wanted to mention that this podcast is pretty much to advertise Greece as well,
Yes,
you know?
exactly,
Pretty much
exactly,
everything
exactly.
that's Greek.
Yes, we're not. It's not so popular the language, so we try. We have to do something, right?
I mean, you're in the majority, right? So in the
Yes.
podcast.
Right. Mm.
How does the typical day for you looks in Andalusia? Because okay, you are in Sevilla, am I correct?
Hmm. Yes.
Somewhere there.
Hmm.
How does the typical day look for you usually?
Like a work day, or
Yeah, workday,
um,
weekends. I presume
well,
they're very different.
yes. No, work day. I mean, I work from home. Also, what you guys see of my work as like running around with a microphone, that's maybe like 2% of my job, and the rest is I'm
Wow.
in my cave, as I call it, and I prepare those events. I edit videos and things like that. So just like chill work from home, really. In the afternoons during the week, I work out, and yeah. If the weather is nice, I see my friends, whatever. On the weekends, when the weather is nice, I take my camper van with my boyfriend and we go to the beach almost every weekend when it's nice. So
Wow.
yeah, big
We
on
are
that.
jealous. I mean,
Do you guys do any surfing stuff, or any type of sports, particularly at the water, or is it just because you like the scenery?
I play beach volleyball, so I try to play when we go there, but then also just read a book or take a walk, run. I love running by the beach too.
Yes, speaking of which, sports and stuff, I mean, I know that you're doing some sports, but you do quite a lot. You play pickleball, volleyball, you're running. Is this just the part to sort of recharge and detox, let's say, from the, work at home? Or was it somewhat I don't know, a lot of childhood sort of memories where at school you did a lot of sports, and then you continued, and then you moved countries, but then blah blah blah. What was the sports story for you?
I think it's a mix of both. So definitely, I've been doing more sports since I work from home, just to get out of the house because otherwise there's days I just don't get out at all. But then I've always done played sports. I played soccer when I was a kid. Then I played volleyball. I started running. So it's always been a way for me to also, as you say, when I moved places, like even when I spent like 3 years ago, I went to New York for 4 months through my job. The first thing I did is was sign up for a volleyball team, so I couldn't meet people. And same thing here in Sevilla when
Yeah.
I got here. First thing I did, sign up for a volleyball team. So you can always meet local people. You have something in common, right? So you can connect to the people. So it's a mix of it all, I
Would
would
you
say.
say, yeah, would you say the language sort of practice helped you as well? Like you would play, and obviously the locals would probably speak Spanish or and so on, and then you kind of went in with the skill, and then the language goes in as well.
For sure. I mean, that's how it's a good way to meet locals. So, because otherwise, sometimes it can happen that you get into this bubble of just like expats, immigrants, English speakers, etc. This
Hmm.
way, you really meet local people. I remember when I moved to Spain, I didn't speak a word of Spanish when I moved here. I signed up. No
Wow.
one spoke English there because it's like real like local neighborhood. So no international people were there, and I was just following what they do and then just copying their words, and that's how I learned my my first Spanish through them.
I like what you mentioned that when you went to New York, the first thing that you did was like to sign up for the volleyball team, and it's I think we have a lot of common, like both of us, like Asia and I, we are like the crazy ones that we try whenever we go to a polyglot gathering, or even the gathering that we did, the small gathering between us in Lisbon. We try to do some sports because it's we cannot live without it. So I'm happy that there's like other weird people like us. Definitely.
Yeah,
And
specifically with this style of remote work and sitting at home and you're like working on this and that, it all seems very nice when you're behind the camera, but
yeah,
it has to be edited, and that takes hours, and the scenario needs to be written, and somebody needs to sit in front of the computer. So then for sure it's just the only way to sort of keep yourself sane, I guess, one of
For
the
sure.
ways.
so apart from languages, which we understand we you are like passionate about, and sports, what else do you have? What else do you do in your life? Do you have any other project, or like I don't know, like do you play any instrument or anything that you are into it? Any
um,
latest trend? I don't know, like learn how to like assemble things.
well, I used to play piano, but I don't have a piano anywhere in my reach right now, so I'm not doing that a lot. I know how to knit, so I started knitting again this year. I
Oh,
did some scarves and stuff.
nice.
So, um, and I'm also doing a master's, another master. Like I'm studying right now at the university.
Wow.
Yes, in educational technology. So anything, everything around like AI in education. Not only AI, but everything that's like technology related. So honestly, with that, my time is eaten up. Like I feel
Full.
like I don't have
Yeah.
hours in my day.
Like, first of all, like I remember reading about that the educational technology. It seems like an interesting master's, and I mean, if you want to share a bit more, what do you do exactly? And then second thing is, how do you balance like your work, your sports, doing masters? Because when I was thinking about that, it was impossible to start a masters right now for me. So I'm really admire people that they do that.
Yeah, a good question. I don't know how I am doing it, but um, it it helps that it's raining so much because I don't get tempted to like go have a beer because it's just like
Right.
when it rains in Spain, no one goes outside, so you're like forced to be inside anyway, and then I
Yeah.
just study. But no, I so the sport is for me. Uh, like I have to do my sports. I can't. That's not something I can cut down on because if I only study, my masters is also online, so it would just be me. he's sitting here all day, like first my work computer and then my university. It's so I need to do this cut, and then I mean, what I've been doing now is because my master's is pretty much like self-regulated. We have some courses, but a lot of things you just do like your works and you kind of autonomously study it. So I've been getting into the routine of like choosing one day a weekend and just spending all day either in the library or at home and just doing it as if it was a work day, but for university, and then I get a
Yeah.
lot done, and the rest like split it on the other days. And then very important also just to have one day where I'm not doing sports
Doing it.
either, not
Yeah.
studying, not university, maybe go out with my friends or go into the nature or whatever.
Right. And also in this schedule, like packed schedule, I would call. Do you find also time to learn a new language? I'm surprised. I don't know. Really good.
Noel, everything
um
sounds so easy with you. When you listen to
Right.
Noel, it's
Right.
like
Yes.
it's so easy. You just do a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
it's not ask my boyfriend, he's probably sick of me when I'm stressed out, but um I mean, I'm learning Portuguese now, actually, with Vinny. He's also from the polyglot um, bubble,
Yeah.
I guess. Um, I mean, I'm not advancing as fast as I would like to. Not because of him, it's me. It's not you, it's me. Because I'm not putting the effort in studying as I would like to. So, but right now I use like the classes I'm doing with him. I use it just to get like Portuguese input, and then what I try to do is like doing things that I would do anyways, but do them in Portuguese. So
Mm.
if I'm watching a series or something on Netflix, well, I'll try to watch it in Portuguese. So I would do that anyway. It's not like taking an extra time a day to study.
Right.
So that's how I'm getting exposed to the language right now. I wish it was more.
Okay.
I'm not satisfied,
But
but
Right.
your boyfriend must be a polyglot as well, because if you are watching
Right.
Netflix in Portuguese, he
I
should be
want to make
watching
the
it as
same
well.
the same comment.
no, he just has to live with it. He gets his subtitles though if he needs them.
Oh, that's good enough compromise.
Nice. Cool. You mentioned pretty much everything about your life, and really I can say admire the way of your mindset and the way of you approaching things and the way of doing things. There's a final, let's say, bonus questions. We normally go with three
Before
questions
we
that
jump
we.
into this, I just have one
Sure,
last
sure, sure.
thing.
Yeah,
Can
yeah,
I?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I just wanted to tap like a little side paragraph about the traveling, because you mentioned
Mm.
traveling, that you like it and so on. We've heard a couple of places, US, Spain. You said Mexico as well. Like last year you were in Mexico, but maybe one of your most impressive travel experiences that you've had, if you can tell us a little bit about that, or maybe countries that really impressed you or something like this, because this is always, we don't know where you've been, how many countries, but that's not important,
True,
like
true.
this
Yeah.
impression. If you can
Mhm.
just share that, because travel is something that we are into as well.
Yeah, definitely. So there's two favorite ones. So one is Benin, which is West Africa, right? I spent there like 3.5 weeks, and I think it impressed me so much. First of all, because I went with my best friend. She lives here in Spain, but I stayed with her family, so I got like this real experience of how people
Very
live
immersive. Yeah.
and things like you wouldn't be able to access that in normal travels usually. And then also relating it back to language, I got back like the desire to improve my French because I learned French in school. It was never my favorite subject. I think we all have a trauma from French teachers, probably. um, and I realized also because also France, maybe I've traveled there, but maybe it's not my favorite country to travel to. It's also like I like it, but it's not. I don't have to go there every year. And then I kind of
Yeah.
I knew it before, but I realized there's so many countries you can go to practice your French. It doesn't have to be France or Belgium in Europe. You can go
Right.
to the whole continent almost of Africa, and yeah, it really gave me like the desire back to improve my French again. So that's number one. And then number two is Mexico. I was there last year for 2 months. I got I bought the trip for 2 weeks and then I liked it, and I canceled my
Wow.
flight. I stayed for 2 months. Yeah. It was just beautiful. I think people, food, of course, the landmarks. I'm really interested into everything that's indigenous related. That can be language, that can be culture, lifestyle. And I was staying in Yucatan, so I got really in touch with like the
Yep.
Mayan culture and language. So that was beautiful to me. Yeah.
Wow.
Very
So
interesting.
that's the way, folks. Like, just buy a trip to Mexico or wherever else.
Cancel your
it.
tickets if you like a place. Just stay longer.
Exactly.
I actually did the same with the internship back in Turkey, so that's definitely the way to go. Dimi, back to you with the bonus questions. Let's do
Right.
it.
So yeah, what we normally do is like some bonus questions in the end. We want you we're gonna ask the question, and we want you to reply as fast as possible. You can. So are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. So, favorite country for food, people, and language.
Mexico.
All of
Oh,
them.
for all.
Replying
I
for
wanna.
yeah,
I thought like the
yeah. It's
bag.
like
Okay.
food. So yeah. So
Sorry.
for
Okay.
food,
Mexico.
people.
Language. People. Mexico also. And
Wow. Okay. And language. I mean, yeah. Okay, Mexico.
I would say Spain, maybe, for
Okay.
language.
So you can say Spain, Mexico, since it's
Yes.
not the same, but it's more or less
There's a
the same.
theme. There's a theme, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. How about the 3 things you always pack when traveling?
Definitely headphones, because I always have to fall asleep with a podcast. So I always take headphones, yeah. Sounds weird, but I have fallen asleep with you guys too.
Thank you.
It's the best thing that Shamik would ever hear.
Yes.
It's a compliment.
We
It's a
are-
compliment.
It's a compliment.
Exactly. We are breakfast, but you can spend the whole day and fall asleep with us as well. We don't mind that. We love it.
Exactly. Then an eye mask, because I need it to be dark to sleep. And
the
snacks.
microphone. The
And the
microphone.
microphone. Famous microphone.
The famous microphone.
Snacks.
Yes.
Snacks, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If you could teach the word one habit or belief from your life, what would it be and why?
It's something I discovered not too long ago, I guess. Well, discovered, but realized. So it's about kind of, if there's a problem, like, don't worry too much about it and just find the solution. That can be related to anything, but I know that me as a person, I used to worry a lot about, like, no, this happened now, like, and you cannot change it, right? So just try to find the solution, and you cannot change it anyway. So
Or accept it, or maybe get better. Yeah. Okay.
learn from it. Yeah.
Learn
Sure.
from it. Learn from it. And
Don't
I
worry, be
guess
happy.
yeah, that comes from your time in Mexico, I would say.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe. Cool. Thanks for spending time with us. It was really nice to have you here. It was really nice to actually to get know more. Because
Yeah.
you are busy. We are busy as well there, and it's normally we speak a bit, but then,
Conferences are great, but it's so
Yes.
difficult to meet
Yes.
people more because you never have
Exactly.
For sure.
enough time.
Exactly.
For sure. No, I'm so happy too. It was really fun. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. And any final words? I mean, where people can find you, if you want to share your personal, social media accounts or follow your work. We have your website, so we're gonna attach that to the description. If you also wanna share your personal account, feel free to do that. And any final words, any advice for our listeners?
Or language
I mean,
learners.
Or language learner, yeah.
yes. Don't give up. Keep on learning languages. It's beautiful. Just to open your mind and see the world in different eyes, I would say.
Nice.
Very nice.
We're gonna stick with
Yes,
that.
thank you
one.
very much, Noel.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. It was
Vielen,
fun.
vielen Dank.
Gerne.
Ciao, ciao.
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 And we will see you next Sunday. Ciao, ciao. Bye.
Bye bye. Have a good Sunday.